My dear students of Honours First Year, I am Shaila Parvin, Assistant Professor of English Department. Welcome you back to my class. Today I will discuss with you a poem from your course Introduction to Poetry. Dear students, in my previous lecture on Elegy written in a country churchyard, I have a general discussion on this poem, the biography of the poet. We have also known about Elegy, and we have also known the name of some famous elegies of English literature. In this lecture, I will try to discuss the poem in detail, the setting of the poem, and various themes with which the poem deals with. So let's begin. This poem is one of the best known pastoral elegy of English literature. Gray worked on it for almost 8 years and never meant for it to be published. He first published it in 1751 reluctantly and anonymously. But the intense personal feeling that the poem expresses gave it an immediate and universal appeal. The speaker is widely assumed to be the poet himself. He contemplates the death of those buried in the churchyard, then the death of all people, and then his own death. This elegy is not an elegy for any particular person, but it is an elegy of all average and obscure men who lived and died away from glare and were laid at rest in a country churchyard. Now we will come to know about the setting of the poem. The poem sets in a village churchyard somewhere in Buckinghamshire in southern England. As soon as the poem opens, the poet establishes a sense of melancholy by narrating the glimmering landscape of the churchyard, and the reader is easily aware how isolated the narrator feels. The phrases such as parting day, the homeward ploughman, weary day, darkness, solemn air, sweater rain, etc. All these actually set the gloomy and the melancholy mood of the poem. Students, in this section, I will try to analyze the poem in detail. Though I will not read out the poem line by line, I will try to give you stanza-wise explanation of this poem. The poem is a long poem of 32 stanzas with 128 lines. Each stanza consists of 4 iambic pentameter lines. In the first 3 stanzas, the speaker creates a kind of melancholic atmosphere. The description of the churchyard and its surroundings, the approaching night, the darkness, the fading sounds, all this contributes to the melancholic mood that harmonize with the rest of the poem. Actually, these 3 stanzas are a kind of introduction to the poem, and here by these 3 stanzas, Gray establishes a kind of melancholic mood for this poem. In the next 4 stanzas, that is from stanza number 4 to 7, Gray reveals the simple life of the village people buried there, who start their days with a touch of nature and enjoy their works. For them, death means the end of the simple pleasure of life. From stanza 8 to 11, there is a moral tone. Here, Gray says that death is a great equalizer. Death doesn't consider how much power, wealth, or beauty a man has. At the end of the day, a man, whether he is rich or poor, must have to meet death. From stanza 12 to 18, Gray gives us the fundamental message of the poem. Gray says that even the poor people are born with extraordinary capacities. If they were given some opportunities, they might become more successful in life than the rich people. Students, here are some lines from the Elegy written in a country churchyard, and in these 4 lines, Gray glorifies the simple village people buried in the churchyard, using 2 very beautiful metaphors. I will read out the lines for you. Full many gem of purest Resiren, the dark unfathomed caves of ocean bear. Full many flower is born to blush and sing, and waste its sweetness on the desert air. Here, Gray compares the life of these businessmen with some precious gems at the unfathomed bottom of the unfathomed ocean, whose beauty nobody can see or achieve. He also compares the life of this simple man with the beauty of some desert or flower which bloom at the desert and die away unknowingly. People may have appreciated the gems or the desert flower if these two things are available in public life, but their beauties remain unrecognized. Like the desert flower or the gems, there have been some people buried in the churchyard who might have the potentiality of ruling the country or becoming a great musician if they had been given the proper chance. So here Gray urges the reader not to ignore or hate them, as it is fortune who didn't allow them to flourish, though they had the full potentiality. From the next stanza up to the 29th stanza, Gray again tries to generalize the idea of human life and death. Everybody on earth wants to be remembered after death, so does the poet himself. The lament ends with the fear of the poet that all his activities will also be forgotten as soon as he dies. The next three stanzas are the epitaph of Gray himself. An epitaph is a kind of writings on the gravestone of dead people. In this epitaph, the Gray expresses his great conviction on God. He justifies his life as worthwhile as he thinks himself as generous and sincere. He ends his epitaph by saying that people should not ask for his virtue or vices, as he is expecting all his rewards from God. The poem deals with several themes. Here I will discuss with two major themes. First one is death as a great equalizer. Gray very nicely deals here with the theme of death as a great equalizer. In this world, people may have lots of wealth or power for which they are proud of, but in a scornful tone, he reminds us all that death is inevitable to all of us. We all have to die. All our wealth or power make no difference to death. Death equalizes the powerful and the powerless. Everyone must die, regardless of their status or accomplishment. Death is the ultimate leveler, making everyone equal at the end. The next major theme is social class and opportunity. Gray points out that the simple and obscure people who were buried here were born in poor families, so poverty prevented them from having the opportunity to develop their innate abilities. If they were given proper chance, they might become great ruler or great artist, but because of their simple birth, they are kept away from becoming great men. It's society who didn't nourish them to flourish their latent talents. So dear student, that's all for today. In our next class, we will meet again with another new topic. Till then, stay safe, stay at home. Thank you very much.